So it's Thursday, which officially means that we are 6 days and counting till my check-in at Cabana Bay. And on top of that, I actually saved about $50 on my reservation because I found out that a lot of the properties, actually all 4 of the Universal Orlando Resort hotels, have had some cancellations for the month of September. So, if you're watching this video and you are staying at a Universal on-property resort hotel in the month of September, I would call and check to see if you can get a cheaper rate. I'm not guaranteeing it'll happen, but you might as well. Every penny saved is a penny spent later on. So, very, very excited, obviously. It's Thursday, which means we are headed towards Halloween Horror Nights starting on Friday next week. So a week from tomorrow is officially Halloween Horror Nights. And a week from tomorrow, I'll already have seen Halloween Horror Nights via the advanced screaming preview that I tried to start getting into in May, and somehow, some way, I managed to get in, and I'm still trying to work on a friend at this point. It sounds pretty promising, but I can't make anything official yet, so I will be at Employee Preview for Halloween Horror Nights 24, but that's pretty much all I can say right now. So, let's go back in the Mr. Peabody Wayback Machine. We're going to go back to those ancient times of August 2nd. Yeah, I'm aware. And when it comes down to it, August 2nd, I threw out a video on this channel that said, all I wanted to know about Halloween Horror Nights 24, I learned watching pro wrestling. Basically putting my own personal spin on the poster that I saw back in the days of book fairs when I was in elementary school. All I ever needed to learn about life, I learned from watching Star Trek. So, I was going to take the information that I knew what was coming to Halloween Horror Nights this year in Orlando, and I was going to equate it to professional wrestling. This would be a fun little task. If you're a wrestling fan, and I know by and large most theme park fans are, not all, I understand that, but most are, you would be able to decrypt using your wrestling knowledge to try to figure out what the mazes and the scare zones and even the shows would be this year, if you were not aware already. Now that the official reveal has finally been made, I can make this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about my statement, and then I'm going to tell you what it meant, and what it still means to this day. Now there is one that is still up in the air at this point. It may or may not happen, and we won't find out for sure until we walk out of Giggles and Gore Incorporated. But we'll talk about that as we progress. So, without any further ado, let's get to my cryptic statements. And the first one is as followed, as I get it here. Hey, look out there. It's a golf course. And there's a store. How convenient. And things are on fire everywhere. Hey, why is Damien Sandow here? Well, wrestling fans would know that Damien Sandow, the intellectual savior of the unwashed masses, has a secondary finisher that he uses every once in a while. It is a straitjacket neckbreaker that is called the Terminus. This was basically a straight-up way to say Terminus equals to the road to Terminus. So yes, I was definitely talking about the Walking Dead end of the line. Now, how do I connect the two? There's a golf course. There will be going to the country club. There's a store. The convenient line that I brought in that pun talking about the big spot where we're going to see the helicopter in the roof, which sounds amazing. And things are on fire everywhere. Now, there's going to be walkers that are on fire. I guess they have some sort of pyrotechnics that are in the actual costume that they're going to smoke, and that's going to be awesome. And apparently there is this, like, moonshine shed. Pardon me, you guys understand I don't watch The Walking Dead, never have, probably never will. And that was on fire, and of course, they blow up a guard shack at the beginning at the prison. So, yes, that is how this statement number one equates to the Walking Dead end of the line. Number 2. Ariel is dancing again, but this time there's a twist. Well, it was a clue within a clue. Obviously, this time there's a twist is talking about the Twister and talking about From Dusk Till Dawn. Now, why am I bringing up Ariel? You're like, oh, and what does the Little Mermaid have to do with From Dusk Till Dawn? Absolutely nothing. Obviously, this clue is an old school wrestling commentary. And by old school, I mean this happened in the early 2000s. In the days of the WWE version of ECW, there was a gimmick portrayed by Shelly Martinez, who played a goth vampire valet to Kevin Thorne, and her name was Ariel. She was a vampire in every way possible. So saying Ariel is dancing, Ariel danced when she was making her entrance. She's got the fangs and everything, but there's a twist, meaning that she might as well be Santanico Pandemonium, and yes, that refers to From Dusk Till Dawn. Number 3. I like this one. Is that Big Sky? I wanted the other one. You know, the older one. Well, this might be a little complicated, but process of elimination probably got you guys to understand that I was talking about Halloween. Now, this is a straight connection that you don't necessarily have to be a wrestling fan in order to get. Big Sky was the wrestling gimmick of Tyler Mane. Tyler Mane played Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloween. And when I'm talking about the older one, I'm referring to the John Carpenter Halloween, and that is what our maze will be based off of. I like that clue. I like that clue a lot. Number 4 is something kind of confused some people. Man, Gangrel really loves him some Christopher Nolan. Now, there is a lot of vampire gimmicks in the wrestling business, and having already used Kevin Thorne's connection to Ariel, I had to throw out Gangrel. And Gangrel is my connection here talking about Christopher Nolan. Well, the reason why Gangrel actually equates to Dracula. And Christopher Nolan connection equates to the fact that when I saw the first trailer of Dracula Untold, the first thing that came to mind was it looks like Batman Begins. That's the reason why I brought up Gangrel coinciding with Christopher Nolan. So yes, that was how we got to Dracula Untold Reign of Blood. Number 5. You know, it might be suited for a wardrobe change because Tatanka has kind of lost his mind. This was based upon the information I was given previously about Roanoke Cannibal Colony. It sounded to me like this was going to be a very un-PC maze, and it sounds like the settlers would be attacked by the Native Americans. That's the reason why I said Tatanka's kind of lost his mind. Tatanka is, of course, a wrestling gimmick from the early 90s, in the new generation of the WWF days, and that is the person that came to mind immediately. Now, this has been proven that this was going to be a little different, and it still might be, like, Native Americans, and obviously it equals out to cannibalism. So yeah, Tatanka losing his mind, yeah, it still kind of makes sense, but I'm saying a wardrobe change because if you're dressed kind of like a settler, you're going to be the main course. So yeah, that's the reason why I said what I said. Number 6. Number 6 is now somewhat null and void because I can say without a shadow of a doubt that it's actually not happening this year. I said, someone's lost his swagger. What a disaster. And this was my connection to Giggles and Gore Incorporated. Why? Because someone lost their swagger connecting to WWE's resident Biff Tannen lookalike, the Real American Jack Swagger, and saying what a disaster, obviously playing up the fact that this would be in the disaster overflow queue. Now, bringing up Swagger is immediately connecting to Jack the Clown, and there were rumors Jack was supposed to be involved in this maze one way or another. This has been completely debunked by Mike Aiello the other night at the media preview. So, Jack will not be back in 2014, but I do almost guarantee at this point Jack will return with a vengeance bigger than ever before in 2015. So, it's kind of there. Number 7's kind of a cop-out, but there's really not many directions I could have gone with this. I'm not going to lie about that. A diamond doll without any diamonds watching your every move. Who knows which one may be your last? Now, the diamond doll obviously was referring to Kimberly Page, or now not Page, but Kimberly Page. The diamond doll gimmick of Kimberly working with Diamond Dallas Page. And that was the only way I can equate this. And I'm obviously talking about Dollhouse of the Damned here. Now, a diamond doll without any diamonds, basically saying that a doll without diamonds is just simply a porcelain doll watching your every move. So, yes, basically stating that the dolls are going to be watching you, and they've already said that that's going to happen in the maze, so that's what I thought would work best. I like this next one. It's one of my personal favorites. Number 8. So I heard this joke the other day. Max Moon, Lasertron, Don Fry, and Randy Orton walk into a bar, and they fight. Even Anne Frank can see that I'm referring to Alien vs. Predator here. And utilizing an alien in professional wrestling is not an easy task at all. I had to reference Max Moon, people. I had to reference Max Moon. And I even brought up Lasertron, Hector Guerrero's old gimmick. But obviously, everyone knows that if you watch the UFC back in the day, you would know that Don Fry was known as the Predator. And Randy Orton is known as the Apex Predator. So you have the aliens and the Predators walk into a bar and they fight. So yes, that connects to AVP, Alien vs. Predator. Those were how we connected the scare zones. Now, actually no, that's how they connected the mazes. I apologize, it's been a long day. Sorry. Now we're about to connect the scare zone. That's what I was trying to say. That's what happens when you don't edit, folks. And number 9 is the first scare zone. The Goon and Sin Cara working together. Anything can happen in Hollywood. Well, obviously, Sin Cara, in essence, means faceless, without face. And the Goon is a gimmick that Bill Irwin did in the early 90s of a hockey player. Hockey player, man with no face, hockey, face-off in the flesh. That's exactly what I was connecting and saying anything can happen in Hollywood plays up to the fact that this scare zone is coming to Hollywood. The actual maze is coming to House of Horrors in Hollywood, Universal Hollywood, but the Hollywood section of Universal Orlando will house the face-off in the flesh. Number 10. Who thought that Terry Funk, the Harris brothers, the McMahons, and Homeless Jimmy would have a common bond? In New York, no less. Obviously, this can only be referring to the Purge Anarchy. And the reason why I said the names I said, Terry Funk connects to a gimmick he did in the Attitude Era called Chainsaw Charlie, that we've already heard that they're going to be chainsaws in this scare zone. The Harris brothers are biker boys, and they rode in on motorcycles. They're the Disciples of Apocalypse, and they're going to be motorcycles, or in this case, I guess, dirt bikes, in the scare zone. The McMahons, basically bringing the prim and proper, like, aristocratic sense to it. Like, all the McMahons, they look like somebody that would just die to Purge if the Purge was real. No offense to them personally, but yeah, just look at them. It just makes perfect sense. Like, WWE films made The Purge. Yeah, the McMahons would probably be one of the first people that they bring on. Homeless Jimmy is a gimmick from a forgotten hardcore promotion called XPW out of California. And Homeless Jimmy is also playing up the fact that you don't have to have money to purge. Obviously, it doesn't matter if you're a senator or a janitor, going back to the Dr. Jimmy clue, and saying even the homeless can purge or be purged. So that's the reason why I said what I said. Number 11 is actually the one that still may happen, but we don't know at this point. Doink, Dink, Wink, and Pink, humorous, but no laughing matter. This is playing up the fact that all of them are clowns, including Humorous, Hugh Morris, Bill DeMott, currently working as a road agent in WWE. These are all clowns, and I was thinking this would equate to our Clowns Scare Zone when you get out of Giggles and Gore Incorporated. So that's the reason why I said this one. This one may or may not happen, but it's still there in case it does. Number 12 is kind of off a little bit, but I had a method to my madness at the time. Off with his head, exit Fandango, stage right. Off with his head, obviously playing up the fact of Masquerade Unstitched, and a lot of people were saying that this would be a lot of, like, Marie Antoinette, like, Victorian-style costumes, and that's the reason I said the off with his head. I thought that worked pretty well, and Fandango, obviously, is a ballroom dancer, and Masquerade is from a huge Masquerade ball, which has the giant chandelier that is high above the streets in the scare zone, so I thought that would make the most sense to have put in there. I mean, I could have mentioned, like, Alex Wright, but he's not a ballroom dancer. He just does the oonce stuff. I mean, he does, like, the club dancing. But yeah, Fandango worked the best for this one, because not only am I a fan, it fits because his gimmick is he's a ballroom dancer. Number 13, in the final scare zone, Papa Shango and Skinner would be right at home following the buzzards. This, of course, is talking about Bayou of Blood, and the reason why, Papa Shango is a voodoo gimmick from back in the day. Skinner is kind of he's like a gator hunter, basically. And he fits Florida very well. His gimmick is from Florida. I mean, it's the former, his name is actually Steve Kern. He's one of the fabulous ones, and he also was, and still is working as a road agent for WWE. But yeah, I thought Skinner and Papa Shango working together, right at home following the buzzards, playing up the fact that, obviously, any wrestling fan that's a Halloween Horror Nights fan would love to see the Wyatt family in this scare zone, and it would make perfect sense. I think it's going to be a very good possibility to see something like this. So this is what we thought at the time, and that's the reason why I said what I said. I had two bonus ones, which I'm sure you guys figured out I was talking about the shows. The first one is, I wasn't aware Goldust and Stardust could sing. No worry, the crowd will help them along. Obviously, I'm referring to the Rocky Horror Tribute show, and the reason I brought up Goldust and Stardust is because when Goldust first debuted, Goldust was called androgynous, and androgyny comes to mind immediately when I think of Dr. Frankenfurter. And obviously I said I didn't know they could sing, the crowd will help them along. Obviously the crowd doing the shoutbacks for Rocky Horror. That's the reason I said what I said. And the final one was Zack Ryder and Robbie E. together at last. They've got jokes, lots of them. Obviously, I'm referring to Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure. And obviously, I'm playing up the fact that the dudes in question are Zack Ryder and Robbie E., both doing Jersey Boy gimmicks in WWE and TNA, respectively. So yeah, that's the reason I said that. And I said they've got jokes, lots of them, obviously. They're known for their comedy gimmicks, but also Bill and Ted is all about the humor. So yeah, that's the reason I came up with the statements I came up with. So hopefully, if you liked this, then I will do this again next year, and you give me a comment on the bottom of this video and let me know what you thought of these decrypted statements. And I had some fun with this video, I really did, I'm not gonna lie about that, and I was really happy to shoot that out to you guys. I got some praise for it a while back when I did the original video, so hopefully now I've decrypted the video. Hopefully you guys and girls out there will watch the decryption of the video, even though you already know why I said what I said, but it still was a fun video to watch, wasn't it? So, right now, I will state that since it's Thursday, a week from tomorrow is opening night, and I will be in attendance, and I will be headed to the Orlando United meetup with my good friends Tim and Jen. So I'm looking forward to that. 7:30 at Duff Gardens should be a fun time. And I will state that there is going to be a lot of Halloween Horror Nights content coming on Pop in the next couple weeks. I promise you that without a doubt there is going to be a lot of HHN content. Now, I am going to be guesting with the Horror Nights Updaters soon. I don't know exactly when that's going to happen, but I know that it's slated for soon, so maybe this weekend, who knows. Once I find out, I'll shoot a message on my Twitter so you guys can see exactly when I will be joining the Horror Nights Updaters. So that's what we've got right now, and we've all completely in anticipation waiting for Halloween Horror Nights 24. It's going to be a really awesome event. Very excited about it. and very excited to be able to go at least 6, if not 7 nights to the event this year, breaking my own personal record. So as always, if you would like to know the true details from the master and creators themselves, then check out Halloween Horror Nights Orlando's Twitter feed, which is at Horror Nights ORL. It is manned by Mike Aiello, and he tells you like it is, and that's where you need to check out all your information. If you would like to check out some really awesome Halloween Horror Nights related content online, you can check out HHNcrypt.com, HHNrumors.com, and my good friend Charles Bremer's DesigningFear.com. You also can check out Ricky Briganti at Inside the Magic. You can check out Behind the Thrills, and also Orlando Informer. There are a lot of really awesome sites that have great forums that you can talk with like-minded individuals that love these events, just like myself and just like everyone out there watching these videos. You can check out the Orlando United Forums. They are located at orlandounited.com, as well as the Horror Night Nightmares Forums at horrornightnightmares.com. And last but not least, I want to shout out all my good friends in the Halloween Horror Nights updating community on YouTube. Dr. Jimmy, Docimo, as well as the Horror Nights Updaters and their individual channels. My friend John, Psycho Massacre Films, my friend Vic, Dr. Emma Brown 1, my friend Neil, UKHHN, Mr. Horror Nights, The Red Steel TV, and Deadly Fear 1283. Also want to shout out to HHN Trogdor, Admiral HHN, and my friend Tristan, HHN Fan 16. Shout out to the Thrill Seeker Network, Jeremy Films with a double Z, as well as Crazy Englishman. Check their channels out on YouTube when you get a chance. So, as always, if you like these videos, tell your friends about them, leave a comment, do subscribe, help spread the word about Pop. If you like the videos enough, click like on our Facebook fan page. It's under Sir Owen Disney Pop on Facebook. Send me a friend request on Facebook if you'd like. It's Owen Disney. Follow me on Twitter at Sir Owen Disney. Or if you'd like to help set up a meetup where we can hang out and go through a maze or two, have some non-alcoholic beverages, or you guys can drink alcohol and I'll just sit there and have soda, that works too. Or if you'd like to just chat Halloween Horror Nights with me, or any of the other spectrums I chat about here on this channel, wrestling, Universal in general, Disney, or movies, you can go ahead and send me an email, siroandisney@gmail.com. So in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.